everyone, welcome back to Paper Therapy with Amy. I'm sure you recognize this Bring Back My Pack. This is Skylark, and here's the back side. I did really like this pack. It's a bit bright for me, but I'm gonna make it happen. I do like the nice brown anchoring colors. I think that really helps. So I wanted to show you, well, I actually also have, I'll leave those there for a minute. I dug into my stash and I still have so many. Back then they gave you 4 of each card. It was crazy. So I have so many of these pocket cards that I'm planning to use. So yeah, I'm gonna definitely utilize some of these. And the pictures that I have for this, I'll put this in. We went to, you probably recognize this place, that's the Alamo. And I have more pictures of the Alamo, but I wanted to use this one in a series of photos about the Spanish missions in San Antonio. So these are all the missions. There's 5, and you can do this drive. So I wanted to kind of try and have these 5 missions kind of displayed across the middle, and then I have some more smaller pictures of more close-ups for the bottom, and a picture of my husband and I looking at them. Maybe do like a strip along the bottom here, or maybe this one here. This is a fresco that you could still kind of see. And I have a flip flap that I'm gonna do in here, so this will have. So that's kind of my plan for the photos. So I'm just gonna bring my mats in and get started. This is Kraft Paper. I think Kraft Paper went with the old paper pack, but I really like how it looks, and I'm gonna start on Kraft Paper. So I'm gonna do something here with the flip flap so it can kind of turn there. Actually, I think I'll do the picture of us here. And then like that. So then this one can go under here. So this is the order I saw them in. So I kind of want to keep that order. So I'm not sure if that's going to go there or there. Like a title across the middle could be cute, but let's see. And then we saw these 2. This one, I don't know if we went right up to it even. And I have all their names, and I kind of wanted to number them. And then, I don't know if I'm going to put those against each other or not. I kind of wanted to number them and then make a little list on the side here. So I've got some places for embellishments. And I did go ahead and color the church from, so this is the Evergreen Scrapbooking, and they show it a little bit smaller here, but that's the church. I kind of wish it was this size. It's quite big, but I'll see. I'm going to try and layer it up. And it doesn't matter if I cover a little bit of this one, because I am going to have a layout with more pictures of this, because we spent more time here. This sheet, I really like this. I think it would be cute to show it down there. There's this side too, which is also cute. And it might even be better with all the browns in the thing. So we'll try it. We'll try it both ways. I think if I cut it in half, because I'm pretty sure I can cover up, like this can be covered by photos, especially if I leave a trim. So I'll show you what I mean. So if I come in like this, like that, then I can just cut this in half and you'll never know that there's not paper behind the photos. And then I don't have to use both my sheets. All right, so I got those cut out. I do really like the bright green, but it might be a bit much. Let's just see. Or they have to switch sides then, I think. Or you won't see that. That's a hard decision because some of the stone really goes nice with this side as well. I have some of these chosen. I noticed that this one has the exact same shape as this, so I think I'm gonna fussy cut this out. Okay, I've got that one cut out. Isn't that cool how close it is? So I'm gonna use that. And I think I've decided to flip it this way because I think I can use this paper. I think the brightness really makes, you know, kind of lifts up the pictures. And I think that I can make, put this paper in. I've got a lot of pocket cards with this pattern on it. I also really liked the scrolliness here. You can see on the door and like on the buildings, there's kind of scrolliness like that. So I thought maybe I could kind of tuck that in somewhere and hide the edge of the, that looks pretty good. I'm gonna cover the words because I don't really want the words showing. And then I do have these little pieces that I trimmed off, so I could kind of make this continue back here and then get something else in here yet. Maybe like that. Let's come up. Let's bring this one over a little more. And maybe even have to put a few more pieces in here just to kind of hide, but I think I could fudge it together and no one would ever know without cutting into the other sheet, or I could cut a chunk from behind here too. I could do either. So let's just pretend that's in there. Okay. And then I'm wondering about like kind of separating the 5 places. So I wonder if I could put something in between here. Now, I've told you all before that I actually I volunteer at a thrift store. It raises money for my son's school. And I got a little package. If only I could find it. Sorry. I got a little package of sheets of burlap like this. And I thought it would really look nice in this layout, especially with this old-timey stuff. And they would like have this kind of fabric that they would wear or whatever. So I'm wondering if I could put something in here, and maybe one of the zip strips would work as well. This one, I did cut these off and thinking maybe they would work. That actually looks kind of nice. And maybe that's wide enough even. And then I can fake kind of the rest of it with some burlap here, possibly. I trim the burlap down with my older scissors, and I'm just tucking it slightly under the photo so that I don't have to have burlap across the whole page under the photo. I also frayed the burlap a little bit by picking some of the threads out. As I was looking at this, I thought it maybe needed a pop of white around the outer edge where the green paper is. And I just thought it would make the rest of the photos pop because they all have that white trim. So I tried that, and I did gut out this piece of white paper so I could use that white other places. Once I had tried it and knew for sure that I was gonna like it. I put it on both sides, and I just did it on the far right. I thought it really made the photos pop because they each have white trim. And I put it to the far right and the far left, and didn't worry about the middle because I knew that I could kind of fudge that later on. In other words, fake it a little bit. I added some brown ink. This is espresso. I usually just choose a color that's in the paper pack or that I like that goes with. Often it's a gray or a brown, even if it's not in the paper pack sometimes. And then I ink around the edges. If you angle your tool the more perpendicular, I guess, it is to the page, the less shading you're gonna get towards the edge. Now you can see that I've glued a bunch of things in place, not everything, but a lot of it's glued in place now, and I'm gonna start adding some more embellishments. So I think I did miss a little bit of video in here where I thought I had hit record, but I hadn't. But mostly I just put the pieces in place that I had already cut out and prepared. This little card that I had just put in place here with the title seemed appropriate for the title, and it's from the sticker sheet. And then I cut out this little strip from one of the pocket cards from the previous time that we had this collection, and I tucked it in behind the Alamo there. So this was pretty fun. I asked my husband if we could do this because I had looked up what to do in San Antonio, and this is one of the things that was recommended. And I usually research places before we go, and he had a conference here. Once again, I'm tagging along to see the world. So we went to these 5 missions, and my intent is eventually to put a little tag on each mission with a number. So they're across the top, as I said before, and then I'm going to, on the journaling spot, I'm going to number 1 to 5 and put the names of the missions. And that's really all I need to say. If I want to read more about the missions, there's plenty to read online. And I just wanted to kind of say the names of each one. They're not that far apart, but you do need a rental car. So the Alamo is actually kind of farther away because it's downtown San Antonio, and then the other ones are kind of all down sort of one road together. And it's really cool to see such old places, and it's such a part of the history of the San Antonio area, that Spanish influence there. I added some burlap, as you can see, in behind a couple of our favorite missions. Those were the 2 that we enjoyed looking at the most. So I thought, well, I'm just going to add a burlap piece in behind them, and that worked pretty good. It doesn't stick well, but as I said, I'll use the Barely Art glue later and glue them in place better. And I trimmed up a picture to fit on this pocket card because I really wanted to show those layers and those arcs. And I thought the pocket cards pocket cards worked quite well with this layout with their rounded corners because there was so many arches and stuff in the pictures. I keep going back to the sticker sheet, trying to find a little bit of every color to put in this layout. And I've used some older items from the previous time that we had this collection, and I'm using new items, and the colors are slightly different. So I'm just trying to split the difference and make it not too noticeable that they are a little bit different colors being used. These word phrases are on one of the zip strips, and I just tore them and kind of placed them there and added that little bird so that I would have a bit of the blue color. So in order to make this little journaling spot that I'm going to use blend in, and it had the numbers 1 to 5, that's why I chose it. But in order to make it blend in to the page, I decided to cut those corner rounded, or the opposite of corner rounding, I guess, those corner circle edges out so that it was like the title card. And I did switch up the card on the far right. I decided the far right needed some of that grid style beige paper, and I liked that a lot better once I put that in. And I'm just gonna add this journaling spot on top. Once I write it down, I'll pop it on there and just kind of have it layered over the top. So I managed to get a lot of photos on this layout, but there's some pretty embellishments too. Just a few finishing touches. I finished writing these in. So I have a brand new stamp, never before seen. It's from the next catalog. So I'm not going to show you the whole stamp set, but you get to see this stamp. So a lot of what I used was juniper, and I like that better than lagoon for this layout. So there is some lagoon too. But like this is juniper, so I'm just gonna stamp this in juniper because I think it'll go the best. There we go. I think once it dries, it'll be just the right color. So last but not least, I'm gonna add a few dots. I have these green ones that match quite well, and I added a few of the teal colored ones in as well that I had in my stash. So I put them here and there just to kind of finish off the page and add a little bit more of that teal color here and there as an accent. I'll bring the layout in for a close-up before I add my flip flap. I have quite a lot of detail, but I kept the color palette fairly limited just to not overwhelm the layout. I colored in the church a little with the Spectrum Noir markers, mostly the trim, a little bit of shading where it was shaded on the stamp already. And I'm pretty happy with how it turned out. And I'm going to show you right away how to attach that flip flap once it's in the page protector. Thanks so much for stopping by and spending this time with me. If you have enjoyed this video, I would absolutely love it if you would hit that like button and subscribe to my channel so that you know when I post new videos. You will notice that I left gaps on either side of this photo with green. The reason I didn't put it right up against the photo beside it or to the edge of the page is because the flip flap would stick over the edge of the page, and when you flapped it open, it would not lay on top of the other picture, and that's what I wanted. Well, I guess that's another layout for the books. That's all from me today. Catch you next time. Bye.